The sun came up over the flat Texas land, but Marcus Holloway did not feel happy about it. He sat on the broken steps of his ranch house with a cup of cold coffee in his hands. The coffee was from yesterday morning. He had forgotten to drink it. He forgot many things now. His name was Marcus. He was 42 years old. But when he looked at his hands, they looked like the hands of an old man, wrinkled, cracked, and tired. Marcus had owned this ranch for 15 years. 15 years of hard work. 15 years of waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to take care of the animals. 15 years of riding across the land under the hot sun. 15 years of believing that one day things would be good. One day he would have money. One day he would have peace. One day he would have a family that stayed with him. But now it was all gone. 3 years ago, the rain stopped coming. The sky was blue every single day, but there was no water. The wells dried up. The grass turned brown and died. The animals had nothing to eat. Marcus sold his cattle one by one. First, he sold 10, and he sold 20 more. Then he sold the rest. With each animal that left his land, a piece of Marcus left too. Then his wife Sarah left. She was beautiful once, but life on the ranch had made her tired. She wanted to live in a city. She wanted pretty dresses and restaurants, and other people to talk to. She wanted a husband who had money and who did not smell like dirt and animals. Marcus could not give her those things. One morning, she packed a bag and took the money they had saved for 5 years. She took the money, and she took their dreams, and she left on the stage to Austin. Marcus never saw her again. After Sarah left, the bank sent him a letter. The letter said he owed money for the land. If he did not pay, they would take the ranch. They gave him 1 year. Then they gave him a few more months. Now, they said he had until winter. Winter was coming fast. Marcus had nothing left. No cattle, no wife, no money, no hope. Every morning, he asked himself a question. Why should I get out of bed? What is the reason? But he could not think of a good answer. Still, he got out of bed. He did the same things every day. He repaired fences that would break again. He looked for water that was not there. He worked in the empty fields. He was like a machine that had no reason to run but kept running anyway. The people in the town saw Marcus when he came for supplies. They looked away. They did not want to see a broken man. Sadness can be like a sickness that spreads to other people. So they looked away, and Marcus walked alone through the town. But on this Saturday in late summer, something changed. Marcus rode into town on his old horse, a gray animal that was almost as tired as Marcus. He needed rope and nails. He needed flour. He could not pay for any of it, but the store owner would let him take it on credit. Everyone knew Marcus was dying. It was only a question of when. As he passed the auction grounds outside the livery stable, he heard a terrible sound. It was a man shouting. It was a horse screaming. It was the sound of anger and pain mixed together. Marcus turned his horse toward the noise. At the auction grounds, a large man sat on a beautiful horse. The man was dressed in expensive clothes. His name was Bradford, and he was rich. He owned many ranches, but right now he was very angry. The horse he was riding was not his. He had bought it the day before. It was an Arabian horse, a special kind of horse with a long neck and a proud face. The horse had a dark brown coat, and there was a white stripe on its face, like the horse was born with one line of kindness painted on it. But this horse was not being kind now. The horse was rearing up on its back legs. It was trying to throw Bradford off. It was kicking at the air. Its eyes were wide and full of fear and anger. Bradford was hitting the horse with a long whip. Again and again. Each time the whip came down, the horse screamed. "You are a stupid animal," Bradford shouted. "You are useless. You are broken." The horse did not understand words, but it understood pain. It understood that this man was hurting it. So it fought back. It fought harder. Other people stood around watching. Some men laughed, some looked away. No one helped the horse. Bradford pulled hard on the rope that was in the horse's mouth. The rope cut into the soft skin. The horse reared up again, and this time it almost fell backward. "I will shoot this animal," Bradford screamed. "It is no good. It is ruined. I will put a bullet in its head." Marcus could not move. He was standing very still, watching. And something inside him, something deep down that he thought was dead, started to wake up. The horse and Marcus looked at each other for just 1 second. Their eyes met. In that second, Marcus saw something. The horse was strong. The horse was brave. But the horse was also broken. The horse had been hurt and rejected and beaten, just like Marcus. Marcus knew what it was like to be broken. He knew what it was like to feel like you were useless. He knew what it was like when people gave up on you. Bradford climbed down from the Arabian horse. He was still angry. He held the rope in his hand. "I will sell this animal for nothing," Bradford said to the men around him. "I do not care what price. I just want it gone. $2. That is all. $2, and someone can take this stupid broken horse." Everyone laughed. No one wanted a horse that could not be controlled. Marcus walked forward. He did not know why. He had no money for his own food. He had no money for his ranch. His bank account had almost nothing in it. He was about to lose everything. He could not even take care of himself. But he walked forward anyway. "I will pay $2, Marcus said. His voice was quiet. Bradford looked at him like he was crazy. But a crazy man with $2 was still a customer. Bradford took the money. He handed Marcus the rope. Marcus held the rope. The Arabian horse pulled away from him. The horse did not trust him. Why should it? Men only hurt horses. Men only hurt everything. But Marcus did not pull the rope. He did not yank on it. He stood there quietly, holding the rope loose in his hand. "Come on, horse," Marcus said in a soft voice. "Let us go home." The horse did not want to go home with this new man. But the horse also did not have a choice, so it followed. It followed the broken man and his broken horse back to the broken ranch. As they walked away, Bradford laughed. He was sure Marcus had made a foolish mistake. He was sure the horse would never change. He was sure it was broken forever. He did not know that sometimes two broken things can become whole together. He did not know that the horse would change Marcus's life forever. He did not know that this was the beginning of a real miracle.
Marcus and the Arabian horse walked home in silence. The sun was going down, and the sky was turning orange and pink. It was beautiful, but neither of them noticed. The horse was scared. Marcus was tired. They did not speak because neither of them knew how to talk to the other. When they got to the ranch, Marcus put the horse in the old stable. The stable had not been used in a long time. The wood was old and gray. There were holes in the roof. Dust was everywhere, but it was better than nothing. Marcus brought water and hay. He put them in front of the horse. The horse looked at the water and the hay, but it did not eat. The horse just looked at Marcus with eyes full of fear. "What is your name?" Marcus asked the horse. He was talking to himself really, because the horse could not answer. "You need a name. You're not a broken horse. You are special. You're like a bird that can rise up again." Marcus thought about this. He thought about the story his mother had told him when he was a little boy. It was the story of a bird called a phoenix. This bird could burn up and die, but then it would come back to life again stronger than before. "Phoenix," Marcus said. "Your name is Phoenix, because we're going to rise again. Both of us." Phoenix did not like this name. Phoenix did not like anything about Marcus. When Marcus tried to get closer, Phoenix moved to the other side of the stable. When Marcus held out his hand to touch Phoenix's neck, the horse bit him. The bite was hard, and it hurt. Blood came from Marcus's arm. Marcus did not hit Phoenix. He did not yell. He just looked at his bleeding arm and walked away. That night, Marcus sat outside the stable door. He sat on the ground with his back against the wooden wall. He could hear Phoenix moving around inside. The horse was nervous. The horse was still afraid. Marcus thought about something. He thought about how Phoenix had been treated. Men had hit Phoenix. Men had pulled on Phoenix's mouth. Men had screamed at Phoenix. Of course Phoenix was afraid of men. Of course Phoenix tried to hurt Marcus before Marcus could hurt Phoenix. Phoenix was not mean. Phoenix was just scared. The next morning, Marcus came back. He had food and water. He sat outside the stable door again. He did not try to go inside. He just sat there, eating his own breakfast. "I know you were scared," Marcus said to the horse. He was talking quietly, like he was talking to a friend. "I know you do not trust me. I do not blame you. Men have hurt you. Men have been cruel to you. Why should you trust another man?" Phoenix listened to Marcus's voice. The voice was not mean. The voice was sad and soft. Phoenix moved closer to the stable door, but not too close. "My name is Marcus," the man said. "I'm like you. I have been hurt too. A long time ago, I had hope. I thought my life would be good. I thought I would have a family and a home in peace. But life took all of that away. My wife left me. My animals died. My money is gone. The bank is going to take my land." Phoenix had no words to understand these things, but the horse understood the sadness in Marcus's voice. The sadness was real. The sadness was the same sadness that Phoenix felt. "Maybe that is why I bought you," Marcus said, "because I saw myself in you. Two broken things. Two things that nobody wants anymore. Two things that people want to throw away." Marcus sat there all day. He did not try to touch Phoenix. He just talked. He told Phoenix about his life. He told Phoenix about his wife, Sarah, and how beautiful she was. He told Phoenix about the ranch and how hard he had worked. He told Phoenix about the empty wells and the dead grass. He told Phoenix about the night he sat on his porch and thought about giving up forever. "But I did not give up," Marcus said. "I do not know why. I just kept going. Every morning, I asked myself why I should get out of bed. And every morning, my feet hit the floor anyway. I do not know if I am brave or if I am just too stupid to quit. Maybe I am both." Days passed. Marcus came every morning. He brought food and water. He sat outside the stable. He talked to Phoenix about everything. He told Phoenix about the town and the people who looked away from him. He told Phoenix about his dreams that died. He told Phoenix about his fear that he would never be happy again. Phoenix listened. Every day, Phoenix came a little bit closer. Every day, the fear in Phoenix's eyes became a little bit smaller. 1 week passed, then another week. Marcus's arm got better. The bite mark became just a scar. 2 weeks after Marcus bought Phoenix, something wonderful happened. Marcus was sitting in his usual place outside the stable. He was not paying attention. He was thinking about his life and his problems. Suddenly, he heard a sound. It was hooves on the ground. Phoenix was walking toward him. Phoenix walked right up to Marcus. The horse was not trying to bite. The horse was not trying to kick. Phoenix just walked up and stood next to Marcus. Marcus did not move. He was afraid to move. He was afraid that if he moved even a little bit, the moment would break like glass. Phoenix lowered its head. The horse's nose came down and touched Marcus's shoulder. When Marcus felt that touch, something inside him broke open. But it was not a bad kind of breaking. It was like a door that had been locked for 3 years was finally opening. Tears came from Marcus's eyes. Big tears. Hot tears. He cried like a child. He cried like a man who had been alone for so long that he had forgotten what love was. Phoenix stood next to him. The horse did not run away. The horse did not leave. The horse just stood there, close to Marcus, sharing his sadness. "Thank you," Marcus whispered. "Thank you for not giving up on me." Marcus reached out very slowly. He put his hand on Phoenix's neck. The horse did not pull away. The horse stayed still. The horse let Marcus touch him. For the first time in 3 years, Marcus felt something other than sadness. He felt hope. He felt like maybe, just maybe his life could change. Maybe Phoenix could change. Maybe two broken things could become whole together. Marcus and Phoenix stood together in the Texas sun, and something beautiful was beginning to grow between them. It was not just the beginning of a friendship. It was the beginning of a new life for both of them. After Phoenix touched Marcus with his nose, everything began to change. The horse was no longer afraid. Marcus was no longer hopeless. They had found something in each other that they both needed. They had found a reason to keep living. But Marcus knew that touch was only the beginning. Phoenix was still wild. Phoenix still did not know how to trust completely. Phoenix had been beaten and hurt so many times that the damage went deep into the horse's bones. So Marcus decided to do something different. He decided to train Phoenix, but not the way other men train horses. Most men in Texas used force to train horses. They would pull hard on the rope. They would hit the horse if it did not obey. They would break the horse's spirit until it had no choice but to follow. They called this breaking a horse. They thought a horse that was broken was a horse that was obedient. But Marcus had learned something different. He had learned this from Phoenix's eyes. Phoenix was not broken because he was wild. Phoenix was broken because he had been treated cruelly. Phoenix did not need more breaking. Phoenix needed healing. So Marcus started slowly. He would go to the stable in the morning and open the door. Phoenix would come out into the sunshine. Marcus would not put a rope on Phoenix. He would not try to make Phoenix do anything. He would just walk across the ranch, and Phoenix would follow because Phoenix wanted to follow. The horse wanted to be near Marcus now. Days passed, and Marcus began to ride Phoenix. But he did not force the horse. He would get on Phoenix's back very slowly and very gently. Phoenix would be nervous, but Marcus would talk to the horse in a soft voice. "I know," Marcus would say. "I know you are scared, but I will not hurt you. I promise you, I will not hurt you." Phoenix would start to move, but not because Marcus was forcing him. Phoenix would move because Phoenix trusted Marcus. It was different from what other horses did. Other horses obeyed because they were afraid. Phoenix obeyed because he loved Marcus. One day, Marcus took Phoenix to the edge of his property. There was open land in front of them. The grass was brown and dry, but it was still beautiful. Marcus leaned forward on Phoenix's back. "Run," Marcus whispered. "Just run." Phoenix did not know what to do at first. The horse had been hit and controlled so much that running freely seemed dangerous. But Marcus stayed calm. Marcus did not pull on the rope. Marcus did not kick the horse. "You are free," Marcus said. "Just run." Something inside Phoenix understood. This was not a command. This was permission. This was freedom. Phoenix started to run. At first it was slow, but then the horse remembered what it was like to run without fear. The horse remembered what it was like to move its legs without pain. Phoenix ran faster and faster. The horse's hooves thundered on the dry earth. The wind blew through Phoenix's mane. The horse ran like it had never run before. Not because it had to, but because it wanted to. Marcus held tight to Phoenix's back, and he felt something he had not felt in 3 years. He felt alive. He felt young again. He felt like his heart was going to burst out of his chest with joy. When Phoenix finally stopped, both the horse and the man were breathing hard. Both were sweating. Both were happy. "You are not broken," Marcus said, running his hand down Phoenix's neck. "You are the strongest horse I have ever seen. You are beautiful, Phoenix. You are perfect." And Phoenix knew it was true. The horse held his head high. The horse's eyes were bright. For the first time since Marcus had bought him, Phoenix looked like the proud animal he was supposed to be. After that day, everything changed on the ranch. Marcus was a different man now. He had purpose. He had hope. When he woke up in the morning, he had a reason to get out of bed. He had Phoenix. He had a friend who needed him. He had a responsibility that was bigger than his own sadness. Because Marcus was different, his work was different too. Before, he worked like a machine. He moved his body through the motions, but his heart was not in it. Now, Marcus worked with energy. He worked with purpose. He worked because he wanted to build something. He started repairing the fences. Not just fixing them for today, but building them strong for tomorrow. He used good wood and strong nails. He worked carefully and thoughtfully. He made sure every fence was perfect. Then he dug a new well. The old wells had dried up because there was no rain. But Marcus remembered his father telling him about wells that could go deeper. Wells that could reach water that was far below the earth. So Marcus dug. He dug for days and days. His hands became bloody from the shovel handle. His back ached, but he kept digging. And one day, he heard water. When the bucket came up full of clear, cold water, Marcus sat down and cried. He cried because it was beautiful. He cried because he had done it. He cried because the water meant the land could live again. The land could grow. The land had hope. With water, everything was possible. Marcus planted new grass seeds. He fixed the barn. He repaired the house. He cleaned and organized everything. The ranch started to look like it was alive again, instead of like it was dying. And Phoenix helped with everything. The horse would stand next to Marcus while he worked. Phoenix would carry supplies. Phoenix would run messages across the land when Marcus needed to go somewhere fast. But most important, Phoenix was there. Phoenix reminded Marcus every single day that he was not alone. People in town started to notice. They saw Marcus riding across the land on his beautiful Arabian horse. They saw the ranch looking better. They saw a man who had been broken becoming whole again. One day, Old Man Patterson rode out to the ranch. Patterson was the richest man in the county. He wanted to talk to Marcus about Phoenix. "That is the most beautiful horse I have ever seen," Patterson said. "Where did you get it?" "Bradford was going to shoot it," Marcus said simply. "Nobody else wanted it. I bought it for $2. Patterson laughed in amazement. $2? For a horse like that? That horse is worth 100 times that much. Maybe 1,000 times. But Marcus did not care about money. Marcus did not care what the horse was worth in dollars. Marcus cared that Phoenix was happy. Marcus cared that Phoenix was free. Marcus cared that they had each other. "I would not sell this horse," Marcus said. "No amount of money could buy him from me." Patterson saw something in Marcus's eyes. He saw a man who had learned what was really important. He saw a man who had learned that love was worth more than gold. As Patterson rode away, Marcus and Phoenix walked together toward the sunset. The ranch was better now. The land was healing. But the most important thing was that Marcus and Phoenix were healing too. They were not just surviving anymore. They were living. They were learning to run again, both of them, toward a future that was bright with possibility. 6 months had passed since Marcus bought Phoenix for $2. The ranch looked almost new now. The fences were strong. The well had plenty of water. The grass was growing again. Marcus had even bought a few cattle to start rebuilding his herd. People in town noticed the change. They stopped looking away from Marcus. They started looking at him with respect. But the biggest change was not on the land. The biggest change was in Marcus himself. He was younger now. He smiled. He laughed. He had color in his face again. He was no longer the broken man sitting on broken steps drinking cold coffee. He was alive, and everyone could see that Phoenix was the most beautiful horse in the entire county. The Arabian horse was strong and fast and proud. Phoenix's coat was shiny and dark, like fresh oil. The white stripe on Phoenix's face made him look like he was smiling. When Marcus rode Phoenix through town, people stopped to watch. They could not take their eyes away. One day in late spring, a man came to the ranch. His name was John Caldwell, and he was a famous horse breeder from San Antonio. He was rich and important. He owned many ranches and sold horses all over Texas. "I heard about your horse," Caldwell said to Marcus. "I had to see it for myself." Marcus brought Phoenix out of the stable. In the sunshine, the horse looked like a king. Phoenix stood tall and proud. The horse knew he was special, and he showed it in every movement. Caldwell walked around Phoenix slowly. He looked at the horse's legs. He looked at the horse's teeth. He looked at the horse's muscles. He was very careful and very serious. Finally, Caldwell turned to Marcus. "This is the finest Arabian horse I have ever seen," Caldwell said. "Where did you get this animal?" "A man was going to shoot him," Marcus said. "I bought him for $2. Caldwell laughed loudly. $2. For this horse. That man was a fool. This horse is worth thousands of dollars. Thousands? Do you know what I could do with a horse like this? I could breed this horse. I could have babies from this horse. Those babies would be beautiful and fast and strong. I could sell those babies for hundreds of dollars each. I could make a fortune." Marcus said nothing. He just listened. "I will give you $500 for this horse," Caldwell said. $500. That is money that could change your life. With $500, you could pay off your bank debt. You could save your ranch. You could start over. $500. Marcus thought about what $500 meant. $500 was the difference between keeping his land and losing it. $500 was freedom from a bank. $500 was safety. Marcus looked at Phoenix. The horse looked back at him. Phoenix's eyes were soft and full of trust. "No," Marcus said. Caldwell looked surprised. "No. Did you say no? Let me give you $700. $700. That is a fortune for a man like you." Marcus wanted that money. He wanted it so badly that his heart hurt. With $700, he could fix everything. He could hire workers to help him. He could buy more cattle. He could make the ranch bigger and stronger. He could have money left over for emergencies. He could have security. But he looked at Phoenix again. "No," Marcus said again. $1,000. Caldwell shouted. "I will give you $1,000. That is more money than you will make in 5 years of hard work. You are a fool if you say no to $1,000. Marcus felt tears start to form in his eyes. $1,000. He could not even imagine that much money. $1,000 was a dream. $1,000 was his future. $1,000 was everything he wanted. He stood there, shaking. The money was tempting. The money was calling to him. The money was saying all the things he wanted to hear. But then Phoenix walked over to Marcus. The horse put his nose on Marcus's shoulder, just like he had done that day weeks ago when they first bonded. Phoenix pressed against Marcus gently and quietly. Marcus understood what the horse was saying. Phoenix was saying, "I love you. I trust you. Do not sell me. Please do not leave me. We belong together." Marcus put his arm around Phoenix's neck. He pressed his face against the horse's face. "No," Marcus said to Caldwell. "I will not sell this horse. Not for $1,000. Not for any amount of money." "You are crazy," Caldwell shouted. "You are turning down a fortune. You will regret this for the rest of your life." "Maybe," Marcus said quietly, "but I will not regret losing Phoenix." Caldwell was angry. He could not understand a man who would choose a horse over money. In Caldwell's world, everything could be bought and sold. Everything had a price. But Marcus had learned something different. Marcus had learned that some things were worth more than all the money in Texas. Caldwell rode away, still shaking his head. He thought Marcus was a fool. But before Caldwell left, he stopped his horse and looked back. "Wait," he said. "If you will not sell this horse, maybe I can offer you something different. I need horses like this. I need a breeder who can raise beautiful Arabian horses like this one. Will you work with me? Will you help me breed horses? I will buy baby horses from you when they are born. I will pay good money for each baby. You can make money without giving up Phoenix." Marcus thought about this. This was different. This meant Phoenix could stay. This meant Marcus could still have money to save his ranch and take care of his land. "How much?" Marcus asked. "For a baby horse from Phoenix, I will pay $200, Caldwell said. "If Phoenix has babies, you could have thousands of dollars. You could have everything you wanted without selling Phoenix." Marcus nodded. "Yes," he said, "I will do this. I will work with you. But Phoenix stays with me. Always." "Agreed," Caldwell said, and he rode away. That night, Marcus sat next to Phoenix in the stable. He put his arm around the horse's neck. "Thank you," Marcus said. "You saved my life twice. First, I saved you. Then, you saved me. We saved each other." Phoenix stood next to Marcus quietly. The horse did not need to speak. The horse did not need to say anything. The horse just needed to be there, close to Marcus, showing that their bond was stronger than anything else in the world. Marcus realized something important that night. He realized that money could not buy what he had found with Phoenix. Money could not buy love. Money could not buy loyalty. Money could not buy a friend who would never leave. He had chosen the right thing. He had chosen love over gold. And soon, that choice would bring him everything he had ever wanted. 15 years had passed since Marcus bought Phoenix for $2. 15 years. The same amount of time Marcus had owned the ranch before everything fell apart. But this time, instead of losing everything, Marcus had gained everything. The ranch was beautiful now. The buildings were painted and strong. The fences were perfect. There were more than 200 cattle grazing in the green fields. The water from the well never ran dry. The grass was thick and beautiful. And everywhere you looked, there were horses. But not just any horses. Horses from Phoenix. The horse breeding program had become famous throughout Texas. Caldwell had kept his promise. Every baby horse born from Phoenix sold for good money. Some sold for $200. Some sold for $300. One horse had sold for $500 because it was especially beautiful and fast. In 15 years, Phoenix had given birth to more than 30 babies. Marcus had sold each one carefully, always making sure the horses went to people who would treat them well. The money from selling these horses had made Marcus rich. Not rich like the big ranchers in San Antonio, but rich enough. Rich enough to have security. Rich enough to never be hungry. Rich enough to never lose his land again. Marcus had paid off his bank debt in the first year. After that, every dollar he made was money he kept. He had hired 3 workers to help him run the ranch. He had fixed every building. He had bought new tools and equipment. He had even built a beautiful house to replace the old one that was falling apart. But Marcus never forgot where he came from. He never forgot how close he had come to losing everything. So he kept money saved for emergencies. He kept money for hard times. He kept money for the future. And he never, ever spent money on things that did not matter. He still wore simple clothes. He still ate simple food. He still lived like a rancher, not like a rich man from the city. Because Marcus understood something important. He understood that being rich was not about having fancy things. Being rich was about having peace. Being rich was about having time. Being rich was about having love. Being rich was about being free. Now Marcus was 57 years old. His hair was gray and his face was deeply lined. His hands were still tough and strong, but they moved a little slower now. His back sometimes hurt when he did heavy work. He was an old man, but he was a happy old man. Phoenix was very old now, too. The horse was 24 years old. In horse years, that was very, very old. Phoenix's coat was no longer completely dark. White hairs had grown in around the horse's face and neck. The horse's movements were slower. Phoenix was not as strong as he used to be. Phoenix got tired more quickly, but Phoenix was still beautiful, and Phoenix was still loved. Every morning, Marcus went to the stable to see Phoenix. He would bring the horse water and the best hay. He would brush Phoenix's coat gently. He would talk to Phoenix about the day. Sometimes Marcus would just sit next to Phoenix, not saying anything, just being close. "You are getting old, my friend," Marcus would say. "So am I. But look at what we did together. Look at what we built." Phoenix would turn his head and look at Marcus with kind eyes. The horse understood. The horse had always understood. One day, a young man came to the ranch. His name was Thomas, and he was Marcus's nephew. Thomas had come from a city to learn about ranching. He wanted to live a simpler life. He wanted to work with his hands and with animals. "Uncle Marcus," Thomas said, "I want to hear the story, the real story. How did you build this ranch? How did you become successful when everyone in town said you would fail?" So Marcus sat down with his nephew, and he told the story. He told Thomas about the drought and the empty wells. He told Thomas about his wife leaving and the bank threatening to take his land. He told Thomas about feeling like life had no meaning. He told Thomas about going to the auction and seeing Phoenix. "I bought that horse for $2, Marcus said. $2. That was all I had. And that horse saved my life." "How did a horse save your life?" Thomas asked. He was confused. Marcus stood up and walked toward the stable. "Come with me," Marcus said. "I want to show you something." They went to the stable where Phoenix was resting. The old horse looked up when Marcus came in. Phoenix's tail moved slowly, happy to see his friend. "This horse was broken," Marcus said, putting his hand on Phoenix's neck. A man had beaten this horse. A man had told this horse it was worthless. A man had tried to destroy this horse's spirit. But the horse was not broken. The horse was just hurt. The horse just needed someone to believe in it. The horse needed someone to give it love instead of pain. Marcus paused and looked at Thomas. "And Marcus continued, "I was broken too. I had lost my wife. I had lost my money. I had lost my hope. I thought my life was over. I thought I had failed. I thought I was worthless. But I was not broken. I was just hurt. I just needed something to believe in. I just needed a reason to keep living." "So the horse saved you by giving you something to do?" Thomas asked. "No," Marcus said. "The horse saved me by loving me. The horse saved me by showing me that even broken things can become whole again. The horse saved me by reminding me that I was not alone in my suffering. There was another creature on this earth that hurt like I hurt. And together we healed." Marcus sat down in the hay next to Phoenix. The old horse put his head on Marcus's shoulder. "Every person has hard times," Marcus told his nephew. "Every person feels broken sometimes. Every person wants to give up. But the answer is not money. The answer is not fancy things. The answer is not becoming rich and powerful. The answer is connection. The answer is love. The answer is finding something or someone that reminds you why you're alive. Phoenix did that for you, Thomas said. Yes, Marcus said. And I did it for Phoenix. We saved each other. Thomas sat down next to his uncle. He understood now. He understood that his uncle's success was not about money. His uncle's success was about learning what really mattered. Years later, when Marcus was very old and Phoenix had finally passed away, people would ask Marcus how he had become successful. They expected him to talk about hard work. They expected him to talk about good business decisions. They expected him to talk about luck. But Marcus always said the same thing. Phoenix did not save my ranch. Marcus would say, Phoenix saved me. A broken man and a broken horse found each other in the darkest time of both our lives. We learned that love was worth more than gold. We learned that loyalty was the greatest treasure. We learned that sometimes the most valuable thing you can have is someone who believes in you when you no longer believe in yourself. Marcus lived to be 85 years old. He died peacefully in his bed, thinking about Phoenix. And people remembered him not as a rich rancher, but as a man who had learned the most important lesson of all. In this world, there is nothing more powerful than love.